Despite encouraging economic news, the Biden re-election campaign continues to fight an uphill battle against voter discontent, a point Donald Trump continues to hammer relentlessly on the campaign trail.
The Biden administration is running on the fumes of the great success of the Trump administration. Without us, this thing would have crashed to levels never seen before. And if we're not elected, we'll have a depression the likes of which I don't believe anybody has ever seen, maybe 1929. That's what's going to happen.
But here's the thing. Trump delivered those words only a few hours after the Dow hit an all-time high yesterday, which the Washington Post says reflects new optimism that the economy is slowing just enough to bring down inflation without triggering a recession, something more than a few experts had predicted wouldn't happen. The Wall Street Journal puts it this way. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, for the markets at least. Let's bring in NBC's Vaughn Hilliard in Iowa. Former Republican Congressman Carlos Curbelo is here, and Eugene Daniels, White House correspondent for Politico. Both Carlos and Eugene are MSNBC political contributors. Okay, Carlos, Wall Street is cheering the fact that inflation has fallen dramatically since the Fed started hiking interest rates. But Americans, at least when you have the pollsters talking to them, haven't seemed to notice. What do you think about that disconnect in political terms?
Well, Chris, these are the types of headlines that the Biden administration really needs. Although the macroeconomic data have been good for some time now, sentiment in our country is negative. Why? Because a lot of inflation is baked into those numbers, and Americans just haven't adjusted to the higher prices that are frankly here to stay. What we want is for inflation to stop going up, and it certainly seems like that's happening, which is why the Fed announced some cuts for next year, which will also be helpful. We've seen interest rates skyrocket. Obviously, mortgage rates have skyrocketed. As those come down, sentiment will likely improve. And that's really what is keeping President Biden's numbers down, that people don't feel good about the economy, even if the numbers are pretty good.
You know, Vaughn, it is arguably a useful political strategy for the Trump team to say what they're saying, right? Because people are feeling like the economy isn't necessarily where some economists think it is. But beyond the base, is there any nervousness you're hearing that a stronger economy will indeed eventually be good news for Joe Biden?
Right. I think this is where Donald Trump often lacks the nuance in terms of his messaging of the complexities of most things he talks about, the economy chief among them. And over the last 24 hours, I've had conversations with dozens of Iowans, and what we consistently hear is frustration with higher grocery prices, higher gas prices, higher mortgage rates, all which ultimately has a major impact on the day-to-day ability to make simple payments, as well as having extra cash on hand, especially at times like the holiday season. And Donald Trump, what you heard last night, was hitting home that very message. He was running with the theme of better off with Trump, which, of course, we should note in 2019 and 2020, Donald Trump was making many of the similar predictions that you heard here just last night when he was predicting that a Great Depression if Joe Biden is reelected again. Well, back in 2019 and 2020, he was predicting that the stock market would crash if Joe Biden were to win the presidency. Of course, from the last 24 hours, there is evidence that that is not the case, despite now Joe Biden being in office for 3 years. But for Donald Trump here, he is playing very much to the grievances and the concerns of a great mass of the American electorate. And for Joe Biden to hail a 3.7 unemployment rate, a strong stock market, there are other economic factors and variables that a great share of Americans do not see the successes of. And Donald Trump, he is running for president of the United States. We should expect him to continue to lack so much of that nuance as he seeks the White House again.